Doing very good, man. It's very late in the night here, but yeah, I'm very happy to be here, Sai. I'm very happy to talk with you, and I'm pretty sure we can talk about powerful ideas.
Thank you for accepting my invitation and accepting to be on my show.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me, and yeah, this is a great initiative. You have a great initiative doing this, creating this kind of content. So yeah, I'm very happy.
So I want to introduce you to my audience. So can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Pablo Hernandez. I am biomedical engineer. I live in Colombia. I've been working for about 15 years on projects, playing different roles on these projects. It's been an interesting time. So yeah, about 10 years ago, I moved to Argentina. I moved to Argentina. I lived there 5 years. It was an amazing experience for me. Started working there with robotic projects for cancer treatments, cancer surgeries, and another kind of surgeries. It was a very interesting job. I worked there for more than 10 years. I used to travel all around Latin America, Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Central America, Ecuador, Panama, Costa Rica. So I learned a lot of about different cultures, different lifestyles. I met a very interesting people doing this job, and I started feeling like I was in a comfort zone, right? So a couple of years ago, I tried to make a change. I reinvent my career profile. So I started learning some skills, creating another knowledge, and then I got a job on the IT industry in a very big company. It's called Globant. Globant has almost 18,000 employees. It's quite a big company. And yeah, I've been working for a couple of years as a project manager. I'm very happy actually. I'm very happy in this role in this industry, and yeah, for now I think it's good.
So you have a huge profile. You have a 15 years of experience in IT industry, and you worked on robotics, and
Yes, sir.
now you are into this one of the biggest companies as a project manager.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a long ride. I have 38 years old, so yeah, it's been a good experience, a lot of learnings, a lot of learned lessons, and I try to enjoy always my job, to have fun doing my job. So yeah, it's been a good time.
So, uh, with your experience, I thought to tell something to my audience and to the people who are watching and who are listening to us from anywhere on this planet. I wanted to uh, tell something from your experience. So, what you want to say?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is always trying to learn new things, trying to learn and create knowledge every day. It's very important. Try to enjoy all of this process. Try to have fun doing the job, creating value for any industry that you can work. And And nowadays, the IT industry is a very big industry. It's a huge industry here in Colombia. We have a lot of job offers now in the IT industry. So maybe try to try to get a job in the IT industry. I think it's a very smart idea nowadays.
So we'll talk about the jobs, how to get jobs in the IT industry.
So yeah, it's a very interesting topic. I prepared some slides so we can follow through, and I can walk you through the slides. Some of them is, I mean, I create these slides from my experience as a project manager and the process that I did to get a job in this industry. So yeah, I think there is a good idea there, so we can talk about it. So maybe can I share my screen and start speaking using the slides?
Yeah, definitely. Can you share your screen?
Perfect, Sai.
Yeah.
So let me, yeah. So yeah, Sai, this is like a compilation. So yeah, Sai, this is like a compilation, like a recipe from the process that I did for getting a job on the IT. I know a few people that is doing this process to reinvent their career to get a job in the IT industry. So I think this is a very good ideas that we can talk about it, man.
Wow. It's a very important topic you came with. I'm sure the lot of job seekers and who are searching for the jobs, this is most important information.
It's a good ideas. It's a good ideas. I agree, my friend. So first, this is a very small introduction for the market. So there is a study, Said, that says here in Colombia, in 3 years, in just 3 years, we are gonna have more people working on IT industry than medical doctors. So it's a good number, isn't it? We have about 50,000 medical doctors here in Colombia, and in 3 years, we are going to have more people working on IT, developing software, project manager, data scientist, business analyst. There is a lot of profiles, different profiles that the IT industry is looking for. So let me share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Let me know if I.
Yeah, it's loading.
Okay. So do we want me to start over all the slides and you can edit the video later?
I didn't got you.
Do you want me to start the slides from the beginning?
No, no, you can continue from where you stopped.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Let me know when you see my screen, okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, first I wanna speak about the IT market industry. The market is very huge, is growing every year, and even in the pandemic year, last year was a tough year for the economy. However, the IT market grow, this industry is growing so fast. So a very interesting data statistics is in 3 years in Colombia, SAI, we are going to have more people working on the IT industry than medical doctors. So it's a huge number. It's a huge number. We in Colombia have about 50,000 medical doctors, and in just 3 years, we are going to have more people working on IT. It's impressive, huh? It's very impressive.
Okay.
And yes, I look. This is a very interesting concept. The recipe for success is a concept very used on English. In Spanish, we don't use that expression much, but I think it's a very interesting concept. So, look, all of these cookies has the same ingredients. They have eggs, milk, powder, some sugar. However, some of them have banana flavor, and other ones have lemon, chocolate, vanilla. So it means all the recipe is the same for the cookies. However, every person can put the personal ingredient, right? So yeah, we are gonna talk about very interesting ideas, very interesting concept, the things I did for getting a job in an industry that was new for me. I have worked as a project manager in another industry, but I use this concept to create my profile, to create some learnings and knowledge about some skills that are very important for the industry, for the IT industry. So yeah, I think from my perspective, this is a very good set of ideas and skills to learn if any person have want to have a job in the IT. So
Okay.
So yeah, so the modern skills that I think, and it's written in different articles, in different books, is you can divide it in two, in hard skills and soft skills, right? So the hard skills are the ones more related to technical skills, so you can get certified. The languages, the programming languages you can learn, the concepts, the cloud services you can learn, and all of these processes to create software, to develop software. And in the other hand, you also have soft skills. Soft skills are very basic human skills. So, for example, communication, leadership, listening, rhetoric. How can you give an idea? How can you can persuade some people with ideas? So I think it's a very interesting mix, hard skills and soft skills. There is a good balance between these two concepts that any person can develop some skills around these concepts, and it's independent on the role they want to play on the IT industry. There is different roles. We are gonna talk about this later on this presentation, but despite the role the person wants to have in the IT industry, these concepts are very important. So this is like the resume for the presentation, right? For the slides that I create for these talks. So the hard skills are very very important. One of the most important is another languages. You know, English is the most common language in the world nowadays, and in the IT industry, all the people speak English. So I think the one of the most important hard skill that you may have if you wanna get a job in the IT industry is speaking English. Is very important, and there is a lot of tools that you can use nowadays. Some of them are free. There is a lot of free tools that you can use to learn English. Another important concept nowadays is the cloud services. Cloud, you know, AWS and Google Cloud and other ones, the IBM Cloud. These companies are huge nowadays, are very big. The AWS revenue, I think, is 40% of Amazon revenue every year. So it's a huge company. All of the companies are trying to migrate to cloud services nowadays. And it's very important getting familiar with these ideas, with this concept, getting certified on the cloud services, the most important ones. And yeah, cloud is the thing to know, I think, nowadays. Another hard skill, Sai, is data analytics and data science. Most of the projects nowadays has a lot of data science, that data analytics. They want to make decisions based on data, not on opinions or not based on intuition, right? So having data scientists on the project, or if the person wants to become a data scientist or a data analyst, uh, these are very important concepts right now. Very, there are a lot of offers, job offers now in the industry for these profiles. Also, programming concepts. It depends on if you want to be a mobile software developer or a web developer. There is different roles, different jobs that you can do if you want to be a software developer. Also, there is a lot of software tools that you can use, repositories, software for creating the software, for making the code, for coding the software that you wanna create. So yeah, there is different software. There are very big players in the market. They are huge, very innovating tools that you can use. And I think the most important thing here, Sai, is create the pathway, create the role that you want to play, right? So if you want to be on the cloud side, on the development side, or even if you want to be project manager as me, there is a pathway, and there is a set of skills, of tools that you wanna make sure you're familiar with. So I think the best idea here is create your own pathway. Which pathway do you want for your profile? What role do you want to play on the industry, on the project, and try to know all the skills that you need to know for that pathway. What do you think, Sai?
Yeah, I'm understanding you.
Okay, perfect. And there is a lot of soft skills, Sai. There is a lot of soft skills also required. I think for every modern job that you wanna get. So some of the most important ones is leadership, emotional run a meeting, to run a project, to create a project from scratch, to talk with the customers, to negotiate with the customers the budgets. So listening and having skills for communicating ideas is very important, very important. You can learn all of these skills. All the skills that I'm trying to explain in this slide, you can create it. You can learn, you can develop these skills. Another thing I believe is very important is a growth mindset. We are gonna talk a little bit more in detail later on this talk. But growth mindset is a very important. It's a very important skill. It's very modern. It's gonna allow you to create knowledge, to develop more skills, to be more prepared to get a job in the IT. Self-education is very interesting. There is a lot of tools nowadays, Sai. There is YouTube, podcast, Udemy, Academica. There are several tools that you can use. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. However, it's a most of the time it's a very lost cost that you can get course, you can get certified, and you can learn a lot of things with self-education. I think it's a very modern skill. Knowing some concept of a scrum I think is the most common agile management style for projects nowadays on IT industry. So knowing some concept of a Scrum is going to be useful for you. It's going to be a plus. And this is a very important one. I am a high performance athlete, so mindfulness is a very big thing in my life. It's one of the priorities that I have in my life. Having a healthy lifestyle, healthy food, healthy work style, healthy culture. I think it's always good to be happy, to create happiness in your life, to have hobbies that can give you happiness and a mindful life, right? And yeah, I think networking is very important nowadays. It's very important. I think all the people have access to the internet. So creating a modern LinkedIn profile, I think is a very important. Creating a good network there, being active on network, on LinkedIn, posting very interesting ideas, I think is very important. I receive a lot of visits, job offers, mm, and new people that want to connect with me on the LinkedIn. So I think it's very interesting. So yeah, this is like the resume side for this talk, for these slides. So we can divide in hard skills, soft skills, always trying to create your own path, the pathway that you wanna follow to create the profile that you wanna have on the IT industry. What do you think, Sai? What is your profile, for example?
Role, I think I come under cloud services in hard skills.
Okay. Cloud services are now a big industry. There are very big players, AWS, Google Cloud, IBM, and there is another one, Microsoft Azure. So yeah, cloud is a very big thing now, huh?
Yeah.
Perfect. So yes, look, this is a very important concept. So this is the Global Talent Manifesto. It means most of the people that wanna get a job in global, they must have these skills. So they want to be a focused person trying to be following goals, priorities, staying in the right pathway for developing success on the projects. Also, a committed person, right? In this industry, it's very common that you have a lot of freedom. You can have freedom to work. There's no people like a police guy trying to watch what are you doing. So being a committed person is very important because you're gonna have to be disciplined and find the best time to do the job. Having integrity, So it means like being fair, be a good person, act professionally on a daily basis on the job. Fast learner. We are always learning new things, so we have to develop this skill, trying to learn very fast by yourself, using free tools on the internet to learn everything that you need to know on the projects. All of this information is changing so fast. It's changing so fast that you have to make sure that you can learn very fast. So clear thinker, being very strategic, trying to be very focused, business profile, business oriented also. Innovation is a very good thing now. There is a lot of tools, new tools coming every day, new concepts coming every year, new companies, new software tools. So trying to be innovative is very important. Being flexible, say we are gonna work with people from different countries, different cultures. We are gonna work with people with different religions, with different first languages. So being flexible in the projects as the customer may change priorities during the sprints or during the project. It's very important. Trying to be a team member, trying to work as a team, collaborate with the teammates, and trying to get the job as a team together is very important. And yeah, last but not least is being inclusive, trying to understand the different on the cultures, on the countries, the religions the people may have. I myself, for example, I work in project with people from maybe 10 countries: United States, India, Peru, Mexico, Colombia, Spain, Romania. So all the people is different. All the people is a different story. They have different culture. So it's very important to be very inclusive. So this talent manifesto, I think, it's a very good group of skills that a person can develop for getting a job, not only in global, but in any company in the IT industry. What do you think is the most important here, Sai? What is your favorite from here?
No, I like everything, especially focused, flexible.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So there is also a different articles, Said. There is different books, articles. There is a book called "The 21 Lessons for the 21st Century." It's a very interesting book, and yeah, there is some articles that anyone can find on the internet. So this, for example, have the top 10 most popular tech skills for nowadays. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting if the people can find these articles within some books, podcasts, and getting some ideas. Very interesting to land a dream job, right? So all the person can create skills to land that dream job. It's just having what do you want, what profile do you want to have, and create the pathway to land the dream job. So now we are gonna speak a little bit more in detail, Sai, about some of the important skills that we already talked about. So, for example, we are gonna start with cloud services. Cloud services are very important nowadays, as we were speaking, as we were speaking a little bit earlier in this presentation. Cloud services, I mean, most of the companies want to have all the projects on the cloud. On my experience working in Globant, Disney has all the projects on AWS. So it's very important to get familiar with AWS services. There is more than 200 services on AWS now. So there is different pathways that you can get certified on AWS. On this slide, look, it's very interesting. There is certifications for beginners, for people with 1 year of experience, 2 years, and even if they want to be developer or they want to work in architecture or in operation as a DevOps, for example. And there is also some specialties that you can get certified on AWS on data analytics, security, machine learning, or advanced networking. So yeah, I right now, Sai, I'm getting certified on as a cloud practitioner, right? Um, I, as a project manager, I don't want to have very deep tech knowledge. I prefer to play a role as a leaders with important leadership, coaching the team. So yeah, I'm starting getting familiar with the AWS services. I'm doing a course on Udemy, and yeah, I think in maybe 2 3 weeks, I will have this certification. What about you, Sai? What about you? Do you have any certification on AWS, or you are working on?
I got the certification from a training company. I got as a AWS cloud computing, but I'm preparing for this associate level architect, the solution level architect. So I'm preparing for that right now.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect. And this slide, for example, say it's gonna have information about the Google Cloud, right? So it says the yeah, if you get certified, you're gonna be more confident about the skills that you're learning. The people with certification can get more easier get a job on the IT industry. So I'm getting better salaries. So yeah, there is AWS and Google Cloud. They have their own certification platforms that you can follow. You can create the pathways on the career that you want to have, the skills that you want to develop. You can do the courses for free on these platforms, and then you have to pay for the certification. And yeah, I think having some certification are very useful for getting a job and for getting promotions once you get a job. For getting promotions, it's very important to have some certifications. Yeah, this one is very important. It's a growth mindset. And this is a very good article that I just read a couple of days ago. One very good friend of mine shared this article with me. And in this article, Said, the author explained a situation is suppose you are working in one company, right? So they offer you a job about the same role that you are having for the past 5 years, and also they are offering a leadership role. You are not doing any leadership role before this offer, so it's very challenging, right? So basically they are offering you two jobs, the same job that you have been doing for the past 5 years, and a new role for you with more leadership, more responsibilities, but also more salary, right? So which one do you prefer, Sai? In your case, what do you prefer? The same job that you are doing or this new challenge that the company is offering you?
Uh,
What do you think?
I'm example for the concept that you're showing right now. I have a growth mindset. Definitely, I'll select the leadership role.
Ah, excellent, Sai. So yeah, it's excellent, Sai. So in this article, the author says, yeah, it depends on the mindset. If you are growth mindset, you're gonna prefer the challenge, the new role, the leadership role, because even if they have more responsibilities for you, you have more salary, more opportunities for you, so it's gonna be fun. So yeah, having a growth mindset, I think, is very important, Sai, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a lot of project tools. There is a lot of software that we use on a daily basis for projects. I as a project manager, but other people also they use as a developer software. Uh, so we use these tools every day. So I think it's very important for the people get familiar with these tools. They are actually very easy to get familiar. Most of them, or the ones that have experience, they are Kanban boards, right? So there is simple columns trying to organize the work that we are gonna do in every sprint. So for example, in this case, in this image that I'm showing you, is that there is three columns. It's very simple. In this column, we have all the activities, all the user stories that we want to do or that we have to do on this sprint. On the second column, there are the user stories that we are working on, that we actually are working on, right? And in the third column, we have the user stories that we already complete during the sprint. So we can move user stories between the columns. We can know the status of every person of the team live, I mean, in real time, because every person can update these personal boards on any time. So it's very important. Are you familiar with the Kanban board, Sai?
No, I'm seeing this for the first time.
Ah, okay, okay, excellent. So yeah, in every project site, we are gonna work with this kind of boards every day. So yeah, it's very important for the people getting familiar with these tools. And another important tool, Sai, is roadmap. Roadmap is it's a very interesting concept for having a big picture of the project. What are the priorities in the short term, in the medium term, in the long term? And we can divide these priorities and the activities for every team that we have, or every roles that we have on the teams. So we can divide these activities, for example, on visual designer, on UX, on data analyst, on DevOps, and project manager. So all the people have the big picture of the project. So they have a clear understanding and an agreement, right? It's like a good agreement between the people working and the customer. So all the people is in the same page about the project. It's very important. This I like very much this tool, the roadmaps. And also, Sai, the leadership is very important for every person. I think all the people is gonna be, or most of the people, or the people that want to be a leader can that want to be a leader can get a leadership role on the projects, right? So this is Daniel Goleman. This is a best world-class author of books, TED Talks, videos on YouTube. Daniel Goleman has been working with this concept for more than 20, 30 years now. So he has this concept about six different leadership styles, and the ones more useful for you to have in this industry are these ones on the right, the leader coach and the visionary leader. So it's very important for you, if you're going to play a role as a leader in the team, you can develop some skills, some knowledge, use some activities, use some kind of communication as a leader coach or visionary leader if you want to be a successful leader on this industry side. These are very modern management style, modern leadership styles that is going to be very useful for you to get familiar. Have you ever heard about this leadership style,
Yeah,
Said?
yeah, yeah.
Which one is your favorite?
My favorite. My favorite. Everything has its own importance.
Ah, it's interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there is another concept, a very important concept. It's called Management 3.0. It's a very modern type of management, a set of concepts, very important, trying to focus on the person, trying to focus on the relationships inside the team, and how can a leader can create and facilitate this relationship inside the teams. I think it's very important. There's a lot of activities that you can do for these concepts and tools that you can use. So this is also a very important thing if you wanna play a role of or a leadership role on the IT industry. There's a lot of people getting certified on management 3.0. So yeah, it's a very modern skill. And also how in some concept about the scrums. Have you ever heard about Scrum, this agile framework?
This is the first time I'm seeing this.
Okay, okay. So yeah, Scrum is a very important knowledge that you can have, say, for getting a job on the IT. Scrum is a framework for making iteration every couple of weeks, every 2 or 3 weeks. We typically at Global work on 2 weeks sprints. So every 2 weeks, you have a planning meeting to know what work we have to do on these 2 weeks, and at the end of these 2 weeks we deliver all the job and present to the customer in a sprint review meeting all the job, all the increments, all the user stories that we did, and we present it to the customer, and the customer give us feedback. So it's a very interesting framework to use. I think Scrum is very useful for trying to get innovation, trying to get feedback from the customer very often, and trying to learn very often about the needs of the project and about the customers, so we can always adjust and change direction if needed to get a good project results. I think Scrum is very interesting concept to have, and most of the companies nowadays are working with the Scrum. It's very interesting, and yeah, there is self-education. Self-education, I think, is very important for creating these skills, for creating your own pathway, for developing skills, of developing high performance skills. So you can use YouTube, podcasts, Udemy, These are just some examples of the tools that you can use for self-education. These are the ones that I personally use the most. YouTube, there is a good videos out there. There is a good podcast. There is a good courses on Udemy that you can follow. And yeah, there is always a good ideas, a good people, and a very interesting people trying to create new content like you, Said. So other people can use this content for learning process. It's a very good idea. What is your favorite, Saeed? What is your favorite tool for self-education?
Uh, I think I I love three mediums, three different content creating mediums. I depends on my mood. Sometimes I want to get content from podcast just while sleeping. I just want to hear the concepts, and sometimes I watch the diagrams and the visual thing that I want to see on YouTube. And in Udemy, I want to do both. All are important, I think.
Perfect, perfect, Saeed. Yeah, I think self-education is a skill that every person need to get familiar and master because it's very important. Self-education, I think, is very, very important nowadays. Yeah, for example, say I'm following this podcast. It's an official AWS podcast. AWS podcast. It's called Conversation with Leaders, and it's very interesting because they interview say uh, people from some of the biggest companies in the world, from NASA, Deutsche Bank, from yeah, a lot of people inside AWS, some people working for the biggest banks in the world that have the experience on migration, migration all the data to AWS. So they share the experience, they share ideas, they share concepts, they share learned lessons. It's very important. So I, for example, remember one person working from NASA trying to explain the experience and all the job that they have been doing for 3 4 years for trying to migrate all the data, maintaining all of this data on the cloud, on specifically on AWS, and what services do they use, what kind of instances do they use, how is the process of learning inside the companies about AWS and maintaining all these projects on the years. So yeah, this when I am driving my car, I try always to get some useful information. So sometimes I use this podcast. This podcast is very very good. And yeah, as I told you earlier, as I told you earlier, I am doing this course for getting certified as a cloud practitioner. It's the first certification that any person can get on AWS. So since all the projects that I'm working on, Tai, they are on AWS. So yeah, getting familiar with this concept, the infrastructure, the security, the network, the roles, the permissions, the policies that you may have, the instances, the services that you can use. AWS has more than 200 services right now, and some of them are very, very similar. They have very small difference. So sometimes getting familiar with the concepts at the beginning is very important to try to get the project for the good road. And yeah, this course I am following on Udemy, and this guy Stefan Marek, it's is apparently he's a very famous guy on LinkedIn, on YouTube. This guy has a lot of courses on Udemy, a lot of videos, a lot of interviews. So yeah, I would recommend this guy as a tutor or as a coach for following these courses. Another great skills I is also on the soft skills side is the communication. How can you persuade a person? How can you create empathy on a conversation? I can say you are very shy today, but yeah, there is a very good skills that you can have about conversation, about communication, and this rhetorical triangle I think is very important. It's been used for I think more than 300 years, excuse me, 3,000 years, 2,000 years. I think the Greeks developed this concept, and it's very important this triangle because it takes into account the three important the three important things on the communication: the speaker, the audience, and the message. So how can a speaker use some strategies to pass the message, to persuade people, to create good arguments about a message, to try to convince an audience, to persuade an audience, to try to get people getting familiar with some ideas. So it depends on the audience. If the audience, if the audience are 10 years old boys, or if they are engineers, or if they are women, or if they are people trying to understand what to study on the university. So it depends on the audience. You can use a different message, a different strategies, and use a different profile as a speaker. So I think it's very important this triangle. It's going to allow you to be more persuasive, to communicate better on the on meetings on a daily basis on your work. And so yeah, I think the rhetoric and persuasion, but personally I like very much these concepts. I always try to be persuasive, try to communicate good ideas. So I think following these concepts is very useful. So and yeah, there is also a very good lifestyle or set of ideas that we can follow to be mindful, to be to have a healthy lifestyle, to be happy, to have fun doing the job. Because sometimes jobs can be very stressful. Some companies has a very toxic culture. Some companies has a very stressful cultures inside. So it's not my case. Globan has a very modern and a very flexible culture around all the work that we are doing. So, but yeah, this article, for example, is from the New York Times. It's an article. I've been using it for a couple of years, so I think it's older than 3 or 5 years. So yeah, they have very interesting ideas, Sai, on how can you sleep, how can you have a healthy nutrition, how can you have meditation, how can you start or learn how to meditate, how can you spend time on the nature, how can you make priorities and set priorities on the daily basis that and prioritize the ones to make you happy. How can you create a happy and a good environment to work? And yeah, I think there is a very good ideas on this article. There is a lot of articles about this. Trying to have a mindfulness life, I think it's very important. I personally try to have healthy lifestyles, doing sports, trying to have some rest, a very good rest, having massages sometimes for the muscles, you know. So I think having a healthy lifestyles is very similar with or very close with the growth mindset that we spoke earlier. So yeah, I think there is a very good concept that all the people can apply mindfulness in their life. So it will be very useful. It would be very great if the people can have some of these practices, some of these ideas in their life, because sometimes job can be stressful. Some moments on some stages of on the projects are more stressful than other ones. So having mindfulness ideas on your life is gonna be very interesting. Do you have these ideas on your life, Sai? What do you think?
Yeah, whatever you said, I'm the same.
Perfect, Sai. And yeah, I think we are going very close to the finish of the slide, Sai. So
Okay.
we can talk or you can ask questions and we can develop some ideas about these slides. So yeah, creating your own pathway, I think is very important from the beginning. If you want to be a web development or data science, or even if you want to be project management, project manager as me, or maybe you want to be a visual designer, or you want to be a user experience person, or you want to work more in the business analyst side, or you want to be a tester, or if you want to do the QA for the software that we are developing. Look, all of these pathways have different things, different steps, different skills that you want to learn. So I think it's very important from the beginning if you create your own pathway, if you do your research, if you read a couple of books, or watch a couple of videos on the internet, so you can have a clear understanding of every pathway and what do you want to do. If you want to develop software for web or for mobile, or you want to be more in the data scientist side, or if you want to be on the project management side. So if you have that clear from the beginning, I think it's going to be good because you're going to have a clear pathway to follow, the right certifications that you can follow, and more important, you can have a mentor. I think it's very important having a mentor. I in the past job, in the last job that I have the opportunity to have a excellent mentor, a beautiful mentor. I think he's now one of the most important person in my life. I learned a lot about him from him. His name is Richie, Ricardo Danes. He's a excellent human being. So I think it's very important. I would suggest to the people say that they get a mentor. They get a mentor that already do what you want to do, that they already have experience on the pathway that you want to start with, because there is always very good ideas that other person from another perspective, from another angle, that they can give you a very good ideas about the pathway that you want to work. They can teach you, they can give you books or links or about videos, very interesting videos on the internet. So having a mentor for the pathway that you want to create, I think is a must. It's a very important thing, Sai. Sai, do you have mentors? Tell us.
Right now, you are my mentor.
No, Sai, come on. No. I'm just trying to share some ideas. I am just trying to share some ideas with you, with the people, from my perspective, from the experience that I have, and from the process that I did 2 years ago to land a job on the IT industry. I think I was very lucky, Sai, very lucky, because I get a job in a beautiful company. Global is a beautiful company, and I think I'm my main leader on Globant is called Giselle. She's a lady from Colombia. I think I was very lucky to have her as a mentor, as a main leader, to work very close with her because I had the opportunity to learn a lot from her, from her leadership, soft skills, hard skills. So yeah, I think I've been very lucky all of these years. I have maybe some privilege. So yeah, I'm very excited to share these ideas, to share these concepts, so that people can create a job. There's a lot of people trying to create a profile to get in a good job, and getting a job on the IT. I think is very interesting nowadays. So what do you think, Sai? What do you think about this information? What do you think about these ideas? Uh, what do you think?
It's really useful for any beginner who knows who don't have any kind of view what exactly happens in a company and uh, how how the things are done. So you said this in pictorial presentation. So it's really one or two points for me are very interesting. You know, you said about the mindfulness and the growth mindset is the interesting topics, you know, of mine from the slides that you shown me. And the the three that to do and have to do and done, like in three stages that you people do as a workers, the 2 weeks that you put the schedule and what to do, you know, that actually I didn't work, right? So okay, this is how the things will be done. Okay, so this is how. And yeah, and I understood the soft skills and the hard skills. It's very clear. It's very clear, uh, and it shows you have huge experience in the industry.
No. I just, I think I have more experience. It's just only because I'm older than you. I'm about, how old are you, Sai?
10 years younger than you.
Yeah, look, so the only reason I have more experience than you is that I am 10 years older than you, right? But yeah, we all have two arms, two legs, we all are the same. So all the people can develop these skills. Nowadays on the internet there is a lot of free information, a lot of free tools, a lot of free information, a lot of free courses. There is nowadays a lot of ways that one people can learn skills, learn hard skills, soft skills. So I think it's very important having clear what is the pathway that you want to follow. And once you have the pathway and you have a mentor, you can start developing these skills. And yeah, I think it's very likely that one person can have a job in this industry on any company. There is a huge companies on the industry, and yeah, I think this is a good option. This is a good option for the people for getting a good job with a good salary, with a good culture of working on the inside the companies. So yeah, there is a lot of people trying to get to this industry. So it's very interesting.
So I have few questions.
Sure, Saeed. Let's talk, my friend.
Yeah. So you said the technical skills and the non-technical skills.
Yeah.
So one person have experience in another industry where he didn't connected with the technology, and he wants to shift his career into the tech field. So what he should do?
Yeah, sure. So look, I think the first thing they want to do is having clear understanding of the role that they want to have on the IT industry. Even if you want to be project manager, developer, business analyst. So once you have this clear, you can have all the paths or the steps that you want to follow and the skills that you must learn. So for example, if you want to be data scientist, for example, you want to get very familiar with AWS services, AWS infrastructure, having a couple of certification from AWS or Google Cloud is going to be very useful. Having knowledge in Python is going to be very useful in data analytics, statistics. So and on the other hand, if you want to be project manager, it's going to be very useful if you master the 10 knowledge areas on project manager, if you get familiar with different tools, if you get familiar with the Scrum framework, this 2 weeks period framework that we spoke earlier. So yeah, I think the most important is knowing what role do you want to play on the IT industry. And once you get this, and once you have this clear, you can follow the pathways.
So one person have experience in an industry and he wants to shift to other industry. Do other industry management consider the previous experience?
So yeah, look, for me, my previous management knowledge was very useful for getting a job on this industry, and I can say yeah, I adapt very quick to the job, using my soft skill, my hard skills, and the experience that I have. It was very easy for me, or I can adapt very quick to this industry and the job.
Okay, so you improved your skills slowly when you came.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I did a lot of courses on Udemy. I watched a lot of videos when I was starting to work on this industry. I have a lot of conversations with people who were already working on this industry. So yeah, getting good ideas from any part I could, from internet, from conversation with friends, from mentors, from my leaders. So all of this information helped me to adapt very quick to the job.
And the salary depends on the skills or the experience or the experience that they have in the particular field. How the companies consider and fix a particular number to a person.
Yeah, it's a very good question, Sai. So yeah, it's clear that your knowledge is gonna be very related to the seniority that you have on the company. So for example, in the company that I'm working on, in Globant, we have three seniorities:
Okay.
junior, semi-senior, and senior. So depending on the knowledge that you have, depending on the years of the experience that you have, you can be classified on these seniorities, and every seniority has salaries according to the skills. So the more skills you have, the more experience that you have, the better salary you can get.
So how to prepare for the interviews?
Yeah, yeah. You can prepare for the interviews. It's an interesting questions. So yeah, I think a good ideas for preparing any interview is doing a research. You can do a research for the company that you are gonna be interviewed, how big is the company, how services do they have, how many customers they have, what customers, knowing the philosophy that they have internally in the company, and prepare all the steps on the interview. So most of the cases, you're gonna have like 3, 4, or 5 interviews for getting a
Okay.
job.
Okay.
So it's very important knowing the industry, knowing the company, get familiar with powerful ideas, with key concepts that you can use during the interview, so you can show all your knowledge.
And how much time it takes for a person to get into a company?
So look, in my case, it was about 2 or 3 months since the time that I get the first phone call to ask me if I was interested to get a job in that company, to the time that the company sent me the offer to approve the job. So yeah, I think 2 or 3 months is gonna be good. 2 or 3 months. So it's better if you start getting certification, if you start doing courses on the internet, doing all of this time. So it's gonna be better for you, and you're gonna be have more probability to get the job. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do companies see the experience and experience is mandatory?
No, so sometimes you can work from the beginning. If you don't have experience on the industry, you can start as a junior. It's gonna be a good job for you, a good experience, a good salary. So if you don't have experience, I don't think it's a problem. These companies, they make a boot camps. They, for example, every 6 months, they do boot camps for free for people who want to get a job on this industry and on every company. So they start developing some courses inside the company. So you can start learning things about the company, and in a couple of months you're ready and you are eligible to get a job on the company. Yeah. Even if you don't have experience.
How to prepare resume?
Uh, how do I prepare is the questions I.
How to prepare a resume, a professional resume?
Okay, okay, perfect. So looks like in this industry, most of the companies has one page resume, right? One page. So you want to make sure you put all the information in one page. In one page, having a good introduction. What is your profile, your professional profile, and having clear in that one page resume what are your skills, what is your experience in another company, how that experience from another industry in another companies can help you be successful on the IT industry. So I think it's very important to have the resume in English. Having the resume in English, a very simple design, and being clear about your profile, your skills, and how the past experience is going to allow you and help you to be successful on this new skill.
So what is cover letter?
The cover letter, yeah, it's interesting because some companies ask for a cover letter, say. So a cover letter basically is an introduction. You can write an introduction about yourself, about the motivation that you have to enter in this company, to get a job in this company, to get a job in the IT industry, what personal motivation, how you experience can relate you to this new industry, and yeah, the cover letter is very important. It's a very good opportunity for you to sell you, to show the company your skills, your motivation, and the things that you, the value that you can add to the company.
Do companies give importance and value to the employees?
Uh, do companies get what? Say,
Do
come
companies
again, please.
give do companies give value and importance to the employees and can observe the skills that they have all the time?
Yeah, sure, sure. In all of these companies, Sai, all the companies create the environment for learning, for create the environment for coaching. So yeah, all the people who enter on one of these companies get coached, get access to courses so they can keep developing skills once you get the job. So you can continue developing skills depending on the projects that you're working on, the technologies that you're working on. And with all of this information and the new skills that you're getting, you can get promoted to a new level or a management role. So yeah, in these companies there is a lot of space, and a lot of time to get new skills.
So, what are the key points uh, to get the basic knowledge about the overview of the company?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is visiting the website. All the companies has good website nowadays. Trying to follow the companies on social media, on Instagram, if you have Facebook, if you have LinkedIn. So try to follow people on that already works on that company and follow the company. So it will allow you to get your network bigger, to have more knowledge, to have more information about the company, how many employees this company has, how many customers they have, in what industry they are focusing. So knowing this information is gonna allow you to get better on the interview, a better score.
So, you said all the thoughts about the modern day. I mean, these days, how the industry is, IT industry is, right? So, what is remote jobs and how it works?
Sure, it's a very common type of jobs nowadays. I mean, Globant is working 100 from homes. So all the employees in Globant, they are working from home now, and I think most of the companies. So a remote job is going to allow you to work from home all the time. So you must need a good internet connection, a good computer, a headset, and yeah, it's gonna be very useful for the employee because you don't have to consume time transporting or use money to transportate. So it's easier for you. I think it's a very good strategy that all the companies can have because the employee is happier, have a better quality of life. So it's gonna be a better employee, a high performance employee. So yeah, I think most of the companies in the IT industry that are working now from home. It's very interesting.
Can I work for an American company from India?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Globant has an office on India. I have coworkers from India, actually. They have, most of them are related from my experience with data scientist matters. But yeah, there is a lot of people from India working from Globant, working from Google. You may know the CEO of Google is from India, right? So yeah, there is a lot of people from India working on this on these companies.
How the pay will be if a person from India is working for an American company, they pay according to the Indian currency, or they pay according to the foreign currency.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna depend on every company, right? But in Globan, most of the people has the salaries on US dollars. So you can have an account on India. So Globan transfer the money every month, so you can have a work contract, a work agreement with Globant, and yeah, it's gonna be a competitive salary always because this industry is very competitive. There's a lot of companies growing up, so all the people is getting a lot of job offers. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can get a good salary on every company on the IT market.
So, do people from other country need to travel to the head office? I mean, need to for the meetings after getting in, because they are doing work remotely, right?
Yeah, so my process when I was getting the job at Global one was remotely. All the process was remotely. I didn't need to travel to any city. So for phone calls and video calls, it's gonna be everything. And yeah, since Global has a lot of people working on India, you using video calls, I think is going to be the most common type to interact with the people in the interviews.
At last, any important points to the world who is watching this video and who is listening to us?
Come again, I didn't hear you well, please.
At last, any important points to the beginners and for the job seekers, and who wants to enter into the IT industry, and any important points that you have observed? You might have seen people who are struggling to get into the IT industry. They have lot of questions. They have like I asked few questions. They may have a lot of questions. Do you have any other answers or questions that they have at last that will be useful, not only for a particular part of the country people, everybody in the world can understand what is important to get into IT industry?
Yeah, so yeah, there is some concepts very interesting that we already speak. There is a set of skills that you must have to get a job on this industry. There is like a professional style that you can create for yourself. Remember the cookies pictures that I showed you at the beginning? So every person can have a personal ingredient. Every person can have a personal charm. Uh, so yeah, it's very important how having your personality, your own profile. How do you want to look? How do you want to speak? How do you want to interact with the coworkers? How do you want to write emails? Everything is your personal brand, right? So every person can develop it. Every person can have all of this, and I think every time it's getting easier to get a job on the IT industry because this industry is getting better because there is companies opening offices in every country around the world. Because, for example, Sai, here in the city I live in a city about 4 million people, right? 4 million people lives here in Medellin. I'm from Medellin, Colombia, and there is no more people to to all the people available in the market, they are already working on the IT industry. So every time we have a new offer, open position, it's hard to find people here in Medellin. So that's why these companies are opening offices in other countries, in other cities, because the job market here in my city is very saturated, right? So every time this company is opening offices in new countries, in new countries, in new cities. So this is allowing new people to get in a job. And from the remote job perspective, it's gonna be beautiful for all the people that wanna work in this industry, trying to get a job because every day is more common the remote job offers. I would say, Sai, I would say, Sai, speaking English is very important. Speaking English is a must if you want to have a job in the IT industry. You must speak English or trying to develop learning and learning speaking English more often because because English is the world language. You know, if you want to be a world class professional, you need to speak English.
So, as an IT guy, I know that if you are into IT, definitely you know the computer languages. You know the Java, .NET, uh, the C Sharp, all these computer languages. You are connected with all the computer related things. So when you start studying those subjects, or you have certification in that kind of a domain, so definitely you're interacting with the machine, computer. So to interact with the computer, you have to use certain commands. You can't use whatever the command to interact with the computer. You have to use certain language to communicate. Like you said, communication is very important, and human created this communication medium between human and computer. So who studied? I'm sure the IT people who studied IT, definitely they'll be extraordinary in English, because it is mandatory for them to know the English in order to understand the computer language.
Yes, sir.
Right. This
Yes.
is my personal observation as a IT guy, but I know I'm talking about outside industry, but you are talking about inside industry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's a very interesting idea. Yeah, from my experience, most of the people who are working on the IT, most of the developers all around the world, they all know how to speak English. Yeah, it's a very common skill. But however, say for example, in my country, it's now so very common that the people speak English. So speaking English is gonna be a challenge for the people in Colombia, at least. I speak for my country. The people in my country need to speak more English every day. They have to get better in speaking English because the English is a must to have if you want to get a job. And some people in my country, even if they know how to develop software, even if they are JavaScript experts or React experts, or even if they are certified as a AWS architect, some of them they don't speak English. So yeah, speaking English is a must nowadays. I think for every job, for every industry that you want to work, if you want to be a world class professional, you must speak English. Yeah, you're right, man. I agree with you.
So I have two or three more important questions that I have
Sure.
observed. Uh, I interviewed a lot of people. More than 350 people came to my show from different countries, from Germany, UK, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, all over the like 90 country people came. So in that there are IT people also who are working in the IT industry, and I saw people, they don't have background, IT background. They didn't have certification in IT, but they shifted to IT. How do company take the people who don't have IT background, but they are still in the IT industry? I feel wonder, because I did masters in software engineering. My graduation is in computer science. I'm in the same path. I'm in my IT in this path only. But they study some psychology, or they study some nutritionist. they are into nutrition, and they shift to IT and they get job, and they can talk about AWS and cloud. And I feel sometimes like, oh my god, they know better than as a IT guy. I know lesser than them, but they can speak about the services in the AWS. So how can company, what companies see in an employee, the interest that they have in the subject, or the passion, they want to enter into this industry because they don't have IT background, right?
Yeah, sure, sure. So it's gonna be depending on how you sell to the company yourself. Yeah, how do you sell yourself to the company on the interview process? So there is a lot of skills from another in industries that can work you, that can help you work on those on this industry. Also, there is a lot of companies hiring junior people. Sai. There's a lot of companies trying to get more people on board. So it doesn't matter if you don't have any experience. You can start from a junior position, and you can start developing your career inside the company. So you can have both cases. One of them is a person working in another industry trying to get a job in the IT industry. So this person can use the skills that they already know and even create more skills. And from the person who hasn't have any experience on any industry, it doesn't matter because this company is hiring junior people. So it's gonna be a right from the beginning for you.
And also you mentioned that the number of doctors in the particular area is the IT people are going to be more than the doctors that are there in the area in next coming 3 to 5 years. Is that true?
Yeah, sure, sure. Here in Colombia, we have new policies from the government. So, for example, in the city that I'm living, Sai, there is a free zone for companies who develop software. It means that if you start a company or if you start an office with your company here in the city, you don't have to pay taxes. So, these kind of policies allows more companies to come to Colombia and use our human resources to develop or to operate the company business, right? The mobile business. So yeah, here in Colombia, there is a lot of benefits for the companies working on the IT industry, hiring people. So it's gonna be a very big opportunity for the people working on IT industry. I have very close friends. My my sister also works on the IT industry. So there's a lot of people working on the IT industry, and yeah, there is a study, and some articles saying in 3 years we are going to have more people working in IT industry than medical doctors. It's very interesting, huh? My girlfriend and my father are medical doctors, but now in my family we have more people working in IT than medical doctors, for example. And some time ago it was the opposite.
Okay, so IT industry is growing.
It's growing so fast, man. Said, this industry is growing so fast. Globant, the company I'm working on, is growing 33% every year. It's crazy,
Oh,
Said. This
wow,
growth, this growth rate is very, very fast.
wow. So IT people also are growing very fast.
Yes, sir. The people also are growing very fast inside the companies. Yeah.
So my observation is the communication is the base of everything. Even if you're a tech guy, it is very important for you to have the communication uh, skills. And I believe that even the technology came by understanding the psychology, the understanding the communication between human beings. You and me talking, physically, being in front of each other, and now you are very far. You are in US and I'm in India, so we don't have a communication medium, or we don't have any device. And then human got an idea to create a device and manufacture a device with which you and me can convey the information that we have in our brains, and can understand each other's thoughts and imagination, and the implementation of the thoughts about the world, or about the tech, about what is happening around us. So I think communication, because I think everything is communication in the world. If you understand about communication, if you are a good communicator, I believe that you become the best tech guy. What do you say?
Yes, sir. I agree with you. I agree with you. Communication is a basic human skills. It's a it's a skill that you want to master, that you want to be an expert on. So if you wanna be persuasive, if you wanna be charming, if you wanna be a leader, it's a must that you have to develop some skills on the communication side. This is going to allow you to get a better job, a better salary, to communicate better with your girlfriend, with your family, with your mother, with your parents, with your leaders, with your boss. So communication is very, very, it's a basic human skill. So you must know how to communicate very good. Also, it's very important how to sell, how to negotiate, because you negotiate every day. You negotiate with your girlfriend, with your teammates, with your boss. We are always in a world that negotiation is very important, right? So having some skills on negotiation, or on being persuasive, I think is very important. We are selling all the time. When you wanna have a dinner with your girlfriend, you have to negotiate, right? What kind of restaurant do you want to go? So we are negotiating every day. So it's very important how to knowing how to negotiate.
And it is also a barter system, give and take. I have these skills, you give me this, I'm giving you this, you give me this. So like this, it's just a give and take between human beings, and even in between employees and the company management.
Sure, sure, Sai. It's a very powerful idea. I admire you, Sai, and you motivate me a lot when I see your social media, and the Instagram account, the YouTube account, your podcast. I was you got me, man. I was very impressed with this, because it's very important for the people to share information. The people don't own the information. The information is a public thing. It's like a public service, so all the people can get to the information. So it's very important for the people who want to transfer the information, to get information from other people. We are very different. I speak Spanish. Yo hablo español. I speak Spanish. You speak another language. You live in another country. I'm pretty sure you have a religion different than mine, right? So we are very different, but we can be connected by this, by internet, by these tools, by the globalization. So I think all the people can have a basic communication, and try to transfer knowledge. I think it's a very, very powerful idea, right?
And you also mentioned that there are 10 different country people who are working, with whom you
Yeah,
are working.
yeah.
There is a knowledge exchange happens between every day with you, with them.
Sure, sure, Sai. We all have different cultures, different religions, different. Even if we speak Spanish, the people from Latin America that all speak Spanish, or most of us speak Spanish, we speak Spanish in a different accent, right? So it's very different. The cultures are different. Sometimes the religion are different. So yeah, the globalization is it's been doing a great thing in human behavior, in human transferring knowledge to another people. So yeah, it's very common nowadays that we can be speaking like you and me. It's 12 in the night here. What time is for you, Sai?
It's 10:25 a.m.
Right, look, so we are in a very different time zones. We speak different languages. We are very different. I'm pretty sure I like a food very different than the food you like. However, we can have a relationship, we can have a conversation, we can share ideas, we can build and develop ideas, even if we are very different, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we created a network now. We established a
No,
network.
excellent, excellent idea. The networking is a very powerful idea nowadays, right?
Yeah. So I'm getting. So so IT industry. So these are the skills that are mandatory for any beginner to have to get into to the IT industry, which is growing very rapidly.
Yes, sir. This industry is growing very rapidly, and these skills and this information that we already discussed, I think is going to be very useful for every person, every beginner, or even if they are not beginners, but they want to change industry. This information, these skills are going to be very important. And in my personal experience, it was very useful because I use this information to transform myself, to reinvent myself into a position that can and get me into a position myself to get a job in the IT industry.
So I'll share this information, the conversation that we had to all the people I know, and I'll put this video and audio clip on my YouTube, social media, internet, podcast, everywhere with your permission. Is that okay?
Okay, perfect. I will be very happy. I will be more than happy to have this information available for another people so that people can see good ideas and try to develop the skills. And yeah, I will be very happy, Sai, if we can help just one people with this conversation. It so yeah, I was trying to say that any person can get a job on the IT industry. They just need to create some skills, to have a focus on what they want, to to be ready to start the pathway, learning some skills. We all are the same. We all have two legs and two arms, right? So every person can get a job, and I will be very happy if these conversations I can can help people around to have these ideas, these powerful ideas that we already talk. And yeah, I will be very happy. I will be very happy if the people can find these interesting ideas and learn from it something.
So I want this information, this conversation, this information to be alive even if I die. Even if I don't be alive, I want this video and this conversation to be in the market so that people will be there who will be coming to the IT industry who want to survive in the IT industry. That will be helpful for them. Not only just in YouTube, in the on podcast also they listen to me. A lot of people listen to me because they believe that I put something which is quality. So definitely, you you accepting my request and you being on my show is a very big thing in my life. It's an achievement for me. In just 29 years, you are 39 years, you are into industry for long time. Like you have seen a lot of observations. You might have seen a lot of clients. You know how to manage things. You know how to make things happen. You know how to make impossible possible. You know how to communicate the team members and all. You know how what exactly happens in the company, and you was the major reason for the development of the company. So talking with such a great person and talking with that person without having any zero experience, it's a big this is going to be one of the biggest memories in my life, and I will never forget this opportunity you gave me. And this is and you made me talk about something. You made me share about something which is very important and essential for for the people who are who wants to come into the IT industry. And you said about very key points, very the fundamentals of the for the beginner. So I'm sure it helps.
Thank you very much, Sai. You motivate me a lot from doing this initiative. It's a beautiful initiative. I I am impressed with your Instagram account, the YouTube, the podcast. You are amazing, man. It was a beautiful experience for me being on this show with you, speaking these ideas, sharing this experience, and trying to spread some good vibes and good ideas, man, about getting a job in IT. So thank you very much, Saeed. This was an unbelievable experience for me, and I hope we can keep in touch, man.
So thanks for being the contributor, the major contributor of my growth. And at the same time, I will contact you again if you give me opportunity again. I will contact you again with some more topics that I have in my mind. I want you to tell because you person who experienced telling from your vocal cord, that will be different impact than the zero experience person like me. So I want people to get affected with your the with the words that came from your experience. So I want I have some technical topics like AWS services and and also you can answer the big the as a project manager, you I already sent you some slides, some images where I have noted some key points which are necessary for a solution architect to have. So I will ask those questions for that is for my purpose. At the same time, I have followed the solution architects are following me, and your answers will help one person, even if it is help for one or two people who are already in the industry, and your experience will definitely impact their minds for sure if you give me opportunity again.
Perfect. Yeah, sure, sure. I will be happy to talk with you again, Sai. Yeah, let's stay in touch. It's very interesting knowing a person so.
Yeah, yeah, now the call is connected, so you're saying something.
No, I am very happy to have the opportunity to meet you. So yeah, let's stay in touch. Let's grow these ideas. And yeah, I'm here, man. When you want to write me, just do it, okay?
Thank you so much for the time, for your valuable time, and for being the reason for the world evolution and human beings development. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai. Have a great day, my
You
friend.
too. You too. Keep going.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, man.
Bye. Bye.